Welcome viewers to what should be the final pre-season news update before the new F1 season kicks off. Today we'll talk about the news including the warnings to and from Lotus, the confirmation of just who has filled the final seat on the grid, and of course the final testing times from the last pre-season test from Catalunya in Barcelona. We'll kick it off with an update on former Marussia test driver Maria Di Vallota, who lost her right eye in a terrible accident some months ago. After retraining her vision, she has now been cleared to drive again amongst other road users, which is great news for her and I would assume great news for Marussia's PR department. I'm not exactly sure what the official standpoint is as far as legal action goes, but Di Vallota seems to be happy and justifiably so. Frenchman Romain Grosjean has been warned by his team Lotus that he needs to stay clear of any crashes this season, either through excitement or lack of judgment. He had a number of easily avoidable accidents last year, the worst of which came at Spa at the start of the race. I for one feel he is lucky to still be in the sport, and surely the first crash this year, or first 2 or 3 crashes this year, will see him walking out of the door to be replaced by a pay driver. And speaking of money, several of Formula One's longest-serving authorities, including Bernie Ecclestone and McLaren's Martin Whitmarsh, have gone on record saying that nearly all of the teams in Formula One are in survival mode, and this is the reason that so many of them simply have to drop more experienced talent in favour of drivers that can bring in several million pounds or dollars in sponsorship. It's the reason we said goodbye to Rubens Barrichello in 2012, and it's also the reason we won't see Heikki Kovalainen or Kamui Kobayashi in 2013. Lotus have been warned by the FIA for using illegal engine maps in pre-season testing. Other teams around them, time-wise of course, believe that these maps were responsible for the quick pace of the Renault-powered cars in the first pre-season test in Jerez. Lotus have denied these claims and say that their car is naturally quick without these settings. Adrian Sutil has been indeed confirmed for the second race seat at Force India. Team principal Vijay Mallya saying that they prefer to have experience at this time rather than the enthusiasm of young Jules Bianchi. This marks Sutil's official return to the sport after sitting out 2012 in the wake of GBH allegations in 2011. Another driver changes the second seat at Marussia as Brazilian Luis Razia has lost out on his chance of an F1 seat due to the lack of sponsorship he was supposed to be bringing in. Taking his place is the aforementioned Jules Bianchi. This time the deal has an element of Ferrari about it, as Marussia could benefit by having Ferrari engines from 2014 onwards. And the final pre-season test of 2013 is concluded with Red Bull's Mark Webber, Romain Grosjean, then the Mercedes pair of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg setting the quickest times for each of the 4 days. There was some mixed weather during this test, making the testing results inconclusive, but the real test will be during qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix on the 16th of March, which is where we will see each car's true pace. That's it for the pre-season videos for this upcoming Formula 1 season. Let me again explain that from now on, unless huge news happens in between races, you'll get a more streamlined service from the Formula 1 Talk YouTube channel, producing 1 video per race weekend, reviewing the weekend's action and talking about the biggest 8 to 10, possibly more, moments of each race. With a little under 2 weeks to go before the start of the new season, all that's left for me to do is give you my prediction for this year's championship. After coming so close last year and in 2010, I actually believe that Ferrari's Fernando Alonso will win this year's championship. Sebastian Vettel will finish second and Jenson Button, now her team leader, will finish third. I'll put the question out to you, the viewers. Who do you actually believe will win this year's championship? Put your answers down in the comment box or even make a reply as a video response. So that's about it for this episode of Formula 1 Talk. I thank you for watching, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for the start of the season in more F1 Talk.